For a closer look at these documents and the raid that ended bin Laden's life is retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Cedric Leighton. Thank you for joining us once again.
My pleasure, Elaine.
You know, obviously a lot of information is coming out. It shows maybe more of a human side, if you will, about Osama bin Laden. But it also shows that he was planning attacks right up until the last minute.
That's absolutely true. And, you know, when you look at this, Elaine, you see somebody who, although physically removed from the battlefield, was still plotting, planning, doing all the things that were part and parcel of what you would expect a terrorist leader to do. Now, what was interesting about this was that, you know, a lot of what was released is stuff that we had looked at within the intelligence community. Some of it was supposition, some of it was he's acting like this. But the real bottom line is that the American people now can see exactly what he was doing, what was going through his mind, and what kinds of things he was really obsessed with. And in those 17 letters, 175 pages of stuff that was released, it becomes very clear that bin Laden was there for the long haul. He believed that he could take the Al-Qaeda brand to new heights. He believed that he could make it work in a way that would allow for his network to not only influence developments in Pakistan and Afghanistan, but really throughout the Middle East and around the world as well.
You know, in the report, we are hearing that, of course, it confirms some of what federal officials were thinking about him. But was there anything surprising that came out of it?
Well, I would say the most surprising thing, if there are surprises, was the fact that he was so obsessed with his image. You know, all the different things that were going on with that. That was one surprise. The other surprise was how much he really plotted against the leadership of the United States and in the name of President Obama, General Petraeus, and any other leader. And of course, he thought that Vice President Biden would not be a very good leader, and that's why he wanted to kill President Obama, because he thought that that would then throw the United States in disarray. And that was a huge issue for him, a goal that he had, and quite frankly, that terrorist organization of its type would have in the future.
There's still a lot of information, 10 years worth of stuff, but one of the big questions we're not hearing the answer to is how was he able to stay away or undetected for so long? Is there anything in these documents you think will come out that will answer that?
In the ones that were released right now, there is nothing that gives us a clear indication why he was able to live basically supposedly undetected in Pakistan for so long. There are a lot of theories about this. There is the view that many of us have that there must have been people within the Pakistani government who knew something and who protected him. That is something that has not been revealed, and if there is knowledge about that, that is still being held in classified channels. But I do think that in this particular instance, what we'll find out is that bin Laden was part and parcel of a fairly extensive organization. The key thing here, though, is the ideology, and that ideology is something that we have to be very cognizant of as we go forward, not only with the war on terror, but with all of our relationships with the Middle East and beyond as we look toward the future.
Okay. Cedric Leighton, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
My pleasure, Elaine.